What's up, Moon Lords? It's Jason Alexander with another AMC Financial Astrology update video that we have been doing since January. Let's go. Man, last week was crazy, 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 but I know what I did. I just brought more. What did you guys do? I know some people probably paper hand, but I feel like the original apes, the original Moon Lords probably brought more. At the very least they held. But the community is kind of iffy these days on AMC. However, I know I'm not. I'm definitely going to be in it. One thing we have to remember, guys, is this is a once in a lifetime opportunity. I'm willing to lose money for a historic squeeze. Are you? So if you guys are still in AMC, make sure you comment letting us know that you're in it. That way the community still sees the movement is going strong and they see other people still supporting AMC like me. And I know many of the Moon Lords doing the same. Go ahead and hit that like button before we get started. And if you haven't subscribed, hit that subscribe button because we're keeping up with AMC. We're following moon phases. This is DD on AMC that you're not going to get anywhere else. And you know that's true. All right, so you guys know we got the moon phase chart pulled up. These lines, this green line, this green line, this yellow line, this red line, and this red line, those have been there for a long time. I haven't had to move them in a very long time because we've been in these ranges. I did end up adding another line, red line down here, just in case we continue to fall. But look at this second line right here, okay? So I told you guys the other day at the beginning of the week that if we're not breaking 34, nothing's going to happen. Okay, we're not going to get a big move, but we did break 34, and then we did get that big move down to. We dipped down to $25 at one point. Wow, I think I brought the day before around 28. I think. But yeah, we dipped all the way down to $25. But look at what we're doing. Okay, let me zoom in on that bottom red line. We dipped right to that red line perfectly, okay? And the reason I have that in there is because way over here back in August, that was the low in this waning period, okay? So I haven't moved that. But then we started hitting higher lows up here. And we kept hitting that, and we hit it here, and that's when we broke, okay? So now we're hitting this red line perfectly. We fell underneath it just for slight moments, just to bounce back the wick. And yeah, so it looks like we are respecting this $29 level of support. Actually, that's around the high $28 level of support on the moon phases pretty perfectly. And so I do expect a bounce from here because today on Saturday, we do have that eclipse new moon, which is very powerful. And typically we know during new moons, I would say 80% of the time, a new moon cycle, we move up in the chart, okay, not down. And we've been going down for this waning period nonstop. So it is due for a reversal. Now, we had that new moon in the sign of Sagittarius. And guys, Sagittarius is the sign of expansion, not contraction. It's the sign that's ruled by the planet Jupiter. Jupiter is a dwarf sun that blew up into a gas planet and expanded. So whenever we're dealing with Sagittarius, we're dealing with expansion, not contraction. And basically, at this point, we should all start feeling more optimistic during this new moon in Sagittarius, because Sagittarius does rule optimism. Because through optimism, you can expand. Okay, if you're pessimistic, you tend to not go forward, right? So Sagittarius is all about expanding. Is a very lucky sign on top of that because it's Jupiter, the most lucky planet of the zodiac. So yes, I do expect us to go up on this waxing period, but we cannot deny the manipulation is absolutely crazy. So obviously anything can happen, okay? But we are still so far respecting this moon phase. We started heading down on the waning period, and right before we start getting the new moon, which is today, so Monday, we're definitely going to be in that new moon energy. We started to see they couldn't really pull us down much lower. I mean, on the first, we jumped down to this $27 level, and they really couldn't get us to stay further underneath that, okay? So when I look at the indicators, you guys know we're looking for certain things to indicate a reversal. We are getting the wicks that are shooting back up, so that's a good indication. But other than that, it's kind of hard to see a nice reversal in the play. Now I'm going to go into the 8-hour chart instead of the daily chart, because on the 8-hour chart, we do have a nice little doji candle right here, and then we're heading up on the RSI and our stochastic, and we're starting to squeeze less red, hopefully heading to the green based on the 8-hour. So we could kind of see the reversal coming in on the 8-hour way better than we can on the 1 day, which is the only reason why I'm showing us the 8-hour. And then if we see here, we can see a nice little increase of volume on the last 8 hours, buying volume. Okay, so that's good. So I am looking for that reversal coming into Monday based on the moon phases. Now, let's just say we don't reverse and we start heading down, and we break this level of support at the that $29 level, 29 high 28s, then we could potentially, possibly, based on the moon phases, go all the way down to the $17 level. Okay, that's very extremely unrealistic. Okay, but based on the moon phases, that would be the next level of support. Okay, now what I'm looking for reversal wise is I really, this week I would really like to be above this $34 level, because if not this week, but the week after that, we're gonna hit that full moon, okay? And ideally, by the full moon, I want to see us at the $40 level at this yellow line, because you can look at that as a launch pad to take us back to this like $44 level, okay? So if we reverse and we get past this $34 level before the full moon, we could definitely expect to see a pop to 39, almost 40. If we can get around this area, around this yellow line before the full moon, I would say around 3 days before the full moon, then we could definitely see a pop to this $44 level. So that's what I'm looking out for, guys. Okay. Now we're gonna look at the chart for the stars and try to see further information on what's gonna happen on AMC price action this week. I'm definitely hyped for it. This is like a make it or break it week. Okay. Now, when I say break it, I mean we might just start going underneath the 20s potentially, right? If that happens, guys, all right, we have to buy more, all right, not sell. We don't buy high and sell low, period. Okay. Now, I could say that a lot of people are in the AMC play will still be green at that $17 level. I know a lot of people, a lot more than half is up still to this point. Okay, so I definitely don't see people selling off here. Okay, if we start getting under 20, then things get scary, but I don't see us falling underneath that $17 level. Now, guys, we have to remember we went from over here that $13, $14 level in a matter of like less than a week. We saw 70. Okay, so could you imagine if something like that happened from here? We'll be hitting $100 plus. We simply have to have that patience. Okay, so let's look at the charts for the planets and see what we see. Welcome to the Market Moon Lord, where we merge the matrix with the stars. I'm your host, Jason Alexander, the blue moon of Neptune, here to help you navigate through the illusions of life. Okay, so you guys know this is AMC's chart right here. The inner wheel is AMC's chart, and the outer wheel is where the current planets are. Okay, and this is AMC's chart, the inner wheel. Now we have Monday open, December 6th at 9:30 a.m. market open. And okay, so the first thing I really want to talk about is where the moon is. You guys know I'm like the moon boy, moon lord, the blue moon of Neptune, whatever you want to call it. And the moon is in a very interesting spot. Okay, first of all, it's in 16 degrees Capricorn. I went ahead and I looked back ever since January to see what kind of movement we had when the moon was right here. And we have both ups and downs. On January 12th, we have 4% up. February, we had negative 11%. March, we had plus 15. April, we had plus 13. June, we had negative 4%. July, neutral. August, neutral. September, neutral. August, we had plus 3, and then 3%. And November, we had negative 11%. So it's really going both ways. All right, this is definitely a place the moon can get us a big move and go both ways. Now, the moon just started waxing. Okay, so right there, I'm leaning towards the bullish side. Now, if you look at the chart, the moon is opposite Jupiter. Okay. Now, remember, Jupiter is the planet of Sagittarius. We're in Sagittarius season, so Jupiter is really strong right now, okay? And Jupiter, remember, is a planet of expansion, and it's 0 degrees coming into Monday for AMC. So to me, that's a bullish indicator. Jupiter literally wants to expand things, okay? And then when I look at the transiting Jupiter right here, it's making a 0 degree sextile to AMC's sun sign. Look at that. Okay. And we know the sun is illumination, attention, action being taken towards AMC, the company taking action. This is good for the company's reputation. Okay. Jupiter is in the last degrees of Sagittarius, or excuse me, Aquarius, which is all about explosions into the future, doing ambitious things, doing pioneering things, doing new things, okay, like the NFTs, etc. Okay, so to me, we could see some type of catalyst news from Adam, because the sun does represent the CEO, okay? The moon represents the masses, okay? So the masses they have an opportunity with AMC, opposition to Jupiter. It looks like an expansion opportunity. And then the company's reputation also has the opportunity, 0 degree sextile to Jupiter, for expansion, for the CEO to make some type of adjustment. And if there's any legal matters happening with AMC right now, this is very bullish, because Jupiter, since it represents belief systems and the philosophy, it also represents the law, justice system, justice, etc. Right? So this is really good if there's anything legal happening for AMC. Now, this moon is also making a sextile to Saturn. I don't particularly care for that, but to me, Saturn being here, Saturn can cause things to slow down, okay? Or you can look at it as causing things to stable out. And it's getting a trine from Neptune, which Neptune deals with deception, things hidden, okay? And it's sextile to the moon, which deals with the masses, okay? So to me, this could be a good indication of a slow movement to the upside, okay? With Saturn being involved. Maybe not a huge explosion, but good movement to the upside, a nice steady incline to the upside is kind of how I'm reading that. Okay, so coming into Monday, we have some pretty bullish activity. If you look at the chart, there's nothing but blue lines going on. I also want to take a look at this Venus. Venus is making a 0 degree sextile to the midheaven. And the midheaven is the company's reputation, okay? And look, midheaven's getting a lot of love. It's even got Mars going over it, okay? Mars is a surge of energy, okay? So there's a lot of energy, obviously, towards AMC right now. But there's a lot of, passion towards AMC with that as well. And the midheaven is also getting a nice transformative sextile from Pluto, and Pluto represents power, guys. Okay, so that's really good indication. So we do have some nice bullish energy. Now, I am looking forward to the Sun meeting Mercury here, because typically when Mercury is getting aspected, that's really good for AMC. Right now, Mercury is getting a Mercury conjunction, which is that's sexy. All right, that's really good. Mercury conjunct Mercury, that's awesome for catalyst news all day. It's happening in the sign of Sagittarius for expansion. Okay, that's a really bullish indicator to me. So Monday, I'm definitely more bullish than I am bearish. We are entering that waxing phase, so Monday looks pretty good. I'm not gonna lie. Let's jump into Tuesday. Okay, so we have Tuesday put up, market open, and the moon just switched from Capricorn. Capricorn is the debilitated position for the moon. Okay, so it doesn't really like to be in Capricorn. It's not as strong in Capricorn. In Aquarius, it is stronger, just simply because it's not as debilitated position. In Aquarius is the energy of is air energy. So there's movement, there's conversation, there's talk. That's really good for. And Aquarius is a humanitarian sign. It's the sign of the people. Okay, so right off the bat, that's really nice for AMC to have the moon conjunct the ascendant, the first house in AMC. And we know this 0 degree Aquarius ascendant for AMC is very big. Okay, this shows a company that's going to be innovative, that's going to pioneer to the future, that's going to be for the people. Okay, and in January, when we had that first mini squeeze or whatever the hell that was happening, FOMO buying, the moon and Jupiter was both in the first house, just like it is right now. All right. We also had the sun. No, the sun. We had some other planets in the first house at the same. Oh, Saturn was in the first house then too. Okay, but there was like 5 planets in the first house. So we got a nice little stellium in the first house for AMC coming into Tuesday, involving the Moon, Jupiter, and Saturn. None of them have the R like this, so none of them are retrograde. They're all moving forward. This is bullish indicator for me. When the Moon is here, we get more upside than downside. Okay. Now, on this day, where is the sun? All right, the sun is getting still the sextile from Jupiter is 0 degrees. And then look at Mercury. Mercury is 0 degrees conjunct Mercury. Now, Mercury, remember, Mercury is the planet of communication, things getting done, things getting organized. It also has a lot to do with the stock market, lots to do with news, okay? And I do think we could get some really nice news Tuesday, okay? With the sun getting that 0 degree sextile, and with Mercury exactly conjunct Mercury, to me that's definitely an indication of like catalyst news. All right, Mercury, this is a Mercury return. Okay, so this hasn't happened since last December, so that's a really big deal. In fact, I want to see exactly when Mercury was here in last December. Give me 1 second. Okay, so last time we had that exact position, we actually dropped negative 10%. Now, we weren't in a waxing period, first of all, and second of all, we didn't get any news around that time. It just dropped. I think it was just a natural drop that day. The closest thing to news was until like 4 days afterwards, so there wasn't any news. So I do think Tuesday we could get news, okay? We have 2 really bullish indicators of news with this Mercury conjunction and the sun getting this nice little sextile from Jupiter, 0 degrees. And then we also have Venus also making that 0 degree sextile to the midheaven, and the midheaven's also getting a 0 degree sextile to Pluto. Or 1 degree. That wasn't happening when that was going on before, back last in 2020 of December. Okay, so it's a different scenario. I still want to stick to Tuesday. We could see news. Okay. I am bullish for Tuesday. Let's check out Wednesday. Okay, so Wednesday looks pretty interesting. Now the moon or the Mars over here is now making a sextile to Venus. We know Venus has to do with branding. Venus is also a big part of AMC because a lot of times when Venus is getting aspected, that means the ascendant is also getting aspected. And it's 2 bullish indicators for the company. And look at this, okay? The Venus in the sky is now 24 degrees Capricorn, and AMC's Venus is 28 degrees Capricorn. Now, I'm pretty sure Venus is about to go retrograde right before it hits that conjunction, which is pretty interesting. To me, that's some type of climax energy getting built up. But AMC's branding looks like it's on point, guys. Looks like it's on point. Now, other than that Mars sextile, nothing has really changed. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go a few hours because I am seeing an aspect in a few hours after market open that looks pretty bullish. Okay, so I have 3:30 power hour open. Now look at what's the moon doing. And the moon is now making a sextile to Mercury. It is getting a square from Saturn, which typically we don't like to get energy with Saturn like that, okay? But at the same time, the moon is also making a sextile to Mercury. And there's been many times where the moon's right there on Aquarius and we get really nice movement, okay? One time we even had a 13% when the moon was right there, 13% up. So that's a very interesting place for the moon to be. And again, a lot of 0 degree conjunctions with Mercury. So Mercury's got a Mercury conjunction and then now a kiss from the moon. Okay. And then Venus, which wants to make everything beautiful, wants to make everything aesthetically pleasing, deals with branding, is also looking pretty bullish as well. All right. So I want to say Wednesday is going to be a very, very, very big day. Okay. I think if we do good on Wednesday, we're going to continue to do good the next day, okay? So Tuesday and Wednesday, looking for good news, looking for good attention on AMC, potential legal changes being made, okay? And if we get those type of energies, some news, some legal changes being made, maybe Adams speaking out a little bit, I do see some forward momentum for Tuesday, Wednesday, and hopefully that carries us out for the rest of the week. All right, so let's pull up Thursday. Okay, so Thursday's a big day too because the moon is going to be 29 degrees Aquarius. We know the last degree of any sign is a very climax sign. Oh, hold on, I got the wrong screen showing. Sorry about that. So we know when the moon's changing degree is a very big time energy. That happened on Friday, and we didn't see it. We saw big energy to the downside, but this one going from Aquarius to Pisces. First of all, the moon likes to be in a Pisces because of the water sign. But second of all, AMC likes Pisces, okay? Because we have a Neptune right here in Pisces, and when we see things going across that Neptune, we've seen really powerful movements. When Jupiter was going across Neptune, that's when we saw all the big sparks the first time, or in the middle of that eclipse season, okay, back in May. Now, the moon coming over here, going into Pisces, typically we see pretty good movement, and sometimes when the moon goes into Pisces and it starts going up, we see a incline, like an uptrend begin. Okay, there have been a couple times where we went negative, but it was literally like negative 0.3%, negative 3%, negative 3%. The rest of the times we had plus 6, we had a plus 4, followed by a plus 11% the day after that, and then a plus 3% or 25% the day after that. That was back in March, and then in June we went plus 22%. June, beginning of June we went plus 22%. The end of June we went negative 1, and then November when we were here we went plus 1. Okay, so I do think we're going to get some positive movement on Thursday because the moon will be going over Jupiter in pre-market, so that's a good thing, and then it's going to be slowly going into Pisces, which is also a good thing. So Thursday does look good based on those indicators. Now, also on Thursday, I don't really expect any big news on Thursday because the Mercury energy kind of went away. The sun is still pulling up on Mercury, so there could be some potential news the week after this, okay, because the sun will be there. But that's still looking pretty good. And then also happening power hour on Thursday, we have the moon going across Neptune, which is a bullish indicator because, again, the planets going over Neptune typically gives us movement to the upside. And the other thing about this moon is not only is it making a conjunction to Neptune, but it's also making a trine to the North Node. And the North Node is destiny, a spark of energy, amplification of energy. Definitely can move the stock. This is definitely a volatile indicator. So I'm seeing. Look, I mean, you guys are looking at the same chart I've seen. We've been getting a lot of blue lines going on this week. Okay, the only red line we have is that same Neptune square Mercury that we've been that's been there literally all year. Neptune moves so slow. Okay, so I hate to say, hey, this week looks good, and then we get some red. You guys know what's happening with the moon phases. You guys know what's happening with manipulation. It is crazy, but the stars are looking good so far this week. I cannot say it doesn't. I mean, you guys are seeing what I'm seeing, all right? I'm just telling you guys the cosmic weather out here, and the cosmic weather is looking pretty good coming into this week. Let's close the week off with Friday and see what we see. Okay, coming into Friday, we come into a lot of crazy, interesting energy. Okay, first of all, the moon is in the middle of Pisces. One of the times this happened was June 2nd when we went 95%. Okay, June 2nd when we went 95%, we had the moon in this exact spot. Now, there's been times the moon was here, we went negative 8%, negative 5%, but one of the times we went plus 95%. Another time we went plus 6%. All right, so this is a big moment for AMC based on where the moon's at. The moon is making a sextile to Pluto, very powerful sextile. And the moon, for AMC, is also getting a sextile from Uranus. So Uranus is making a 0-degree trine to Pluto. This is huge. Uranus and Pluto are two outer planets. Pluto represents power transformations. Uranus also represents explosions, especially explosions to the future, 0 degrees, sextile on the moon as well. So I do think there could be an explosion on Friday. Not to mention, if we look at Venus right here, Venus is now conjunct Pluto. That's very powerful in the sky. Okay, very powerful energy in the sky. And then if I look at this Mercury is now making a conjunction to the sun. That's a huge bullish energy for news. And then the sun is making a conjunction to Mercury. So look at this, guys. So we have the Mercury in the sky conjuncting the sun for AMC, and then we have the sun in the sky conjuncting AMC's Mercury. Like, what? Okay, so that's, I mean, wow, that's sexy. That is very fucking sexy. And to me, that's hard for me to bet against. That's hard for me to bet against, not to mention the moon is in that powerful spot that we have went 95% before. So guys, I'm going to leave it at that. We have some very bullish energy this week, some very, very like climax energy this week. I'm definitely looking forward to this week. But remember, this is like a make it or break it week as far as like if we're going to reverse or really break down to like those low 20s, and then we're going to be playing that game until we can get back to the top, okay? I don't know about you guys, but last week I got some people in AMC, and I had to take some calls, and I had to explain to people, listen, nothing has really changed, okay? The short interest is still going up. They're not covering, and that's why we got into this play. High short interest, and we have to wait for them to cover so we can squeeze. So I hope you guys just keep that in mind, all right? As long as they're adding to the short interest, the possibility of the squeeze is still there. Trades has been talking a lot about the Tesla squeeze, and he has been talking about it since the beginning. And Tesla squoze over time. Okay, shorts slowly started covering as the company kept building momentum, and we know AMC is building momentum, and this is going to take some time. Now, there are some theories out there that they're going to drop the price and then right before Christmas they'll let it rip a little bit and hope that a whole bunch of people's paper hand. I'm convicted. I am not selling any AMC under $100. It's just not happening. All right, so you guys let me know what you guys think about this week. Let me guys know if you guys are still holding AMC. Let me know if you brought more. Let me know what you guys think about if they're trying to get us to sell right before Christmas. Okay, just you guys support each other. Everyone needs to support each other. I don't care if you're a moon lord or an ape that brought one share. You're part of the movement, and everyone needs to be supporting each other in this movement, because this is like we're in the fourth quarter, okay? And hopefully if we make it out of this fourth quarter, we can go into overtime. Now, you guys know for months now, I've been saying, just like before that, I was saying, hey, May eclipse looks crazy. We were calling that out months before that eclipse. That looks crazy. And now, but after that whole shebang, we're calling out January looks crazy and March looks crazy, okay? So we have to be prepared, or we have to be ready to wait. For me, I'm definitely going to be holding at the very least until the end of March. Honestly, I'm probably going to hold until we make AMC just naturally goes up, period, because I got in really early. But January and March of next year does look good. I am prepared to hold that long, and I hope you guys are too. So if you guys enjoy this content and want to see more of it and haven't subscribed, all you got to do is subscribe. If you want to show your boy some support, I appreciate that. I appreciate each and every one of you guys for watching the video and liking the video. And if you are a Moonlord and you're not in our Moonlord Discord, check us out at Market Moonlord Discord. A lot of great people in there. I appreciate each and every one of you guys. Let's keep holding strong. Let's go AMC. I know I'm in it to win it. Scared money don't make money. Until next time, I'm Jason Alexander, the Blue Moon of Neptune, here to help you navigate through the illusions of life. You're watching the Market Moonlord, where we merge the matrix with the motherfucking stars. Let's go. Peace.
Jason Alexander, the Blue Moon of Neptune.